The lure of quick money has just...
I want to share what we imagine is possible. The experiences you'll have, the creative economy we'll all build, and the technology that needs to be invented, as well as how we're going to all do this together. The basic story of technology in our lifetimes is how it's given us the power to express ourselves and experience the world with ever greater richness. The next platform and medium will be even more immersive, an embodied internet where you're in the experience, not just looking at it. And if this is the future that you want to see, then I hope that you will join us.
The virtual reality space where a digital private island can cost as much as an average American home.
Then I hope that you will join us.
Real estate investors are paying millions of dollars for plots of land that don't even exist.
Well, it's an NFT series that I'm doing with Super Plastic.
And the worst part is people are about to find real estate in this place. I mean, that's just the dumbest shit.
Then I hope that you will join us.
Today, we're going to talk about the metaverse.
Every day you're being watched by the corporations. They're always watching to see what makes you tick or what you click. Every corner of the internet their vigilant eyes have peeped, bending the very social fabric of our reality in the process, all in the name of making you a better customer. Still, there are times when these corporations fail spectacularly.
No video call. All right, I'm just gonna pick that up.
And one of the greatest failures came when they turned their eye in an attempt to bend a new reality. Feel free to enjoy the new gold rush in a digital frontier. No, not that one. Close.
The metaverse.
Bingo. Welcome to the volatile world of virtual property, and soon a virtual housing crisis. A crisis that will waste millions of dollars, tarnish reputations, and smoke the meats.
Smoking these meats.
It all begins the same year that time felt like it stopped, and has never been faster. 2020 would bring the greatest Plague Inc. reference of all time. The virus kept us isolated and inside, with our only human contact beamed through a screen. It started off as innocent Zoom calls with friends and family.
Hey guys, look at this bread I baked.
Oh, so awesome, Cheryl. But soon, much like Cheryl's bread, we were all burnt out, as we did everything online. Zoom 9-to-5 job. Go to Zoom school. Learn to Zumba dance. You can get 13 years to life in prison with no parole. In Zoom. So why not have a digital home? Why not put your primal need for shelter on the internet to be bought and sold? This is sound logic, I know. Tron Legacy did it. Everyone watched that movie. Ready Player One did it. Everyone loved that movie. It's high time that us humans in the year 2020 make our virtual dreams a virtual reality. But can a bunch of pixels be worth anything? You might be asking yourself. Well, this year would also prove to the world that if you sigh up enough people, they too could spend thousands of dollars on worthless pixels. What better way to buy pixels than with pixelated money, which has been in the midst of a massive bull market run, and its spending power has never been stronger. As you can see by this graph, the arrow is going up. All of these factors marinated in the cultural zeitgeist stew for some time. Until next year, when a young human conceived the ultimate plan. He's going to take his billion-dollar company Facebook and gamble it all on the brave new digital world. Let's see what Mark has in store at the 2021 Facebook Connect.
Hey, and welcome to Connect. We're going to talk about the metaverse.
Are you coming?
Yeah, just got to find something to wear. Hey, what's going on?
Hi.
Mark. What's up, Mark?
Whoa, we're floating in space? Is that you?
Of course it's me. You know I had to be the robot, man.
I know that your friends are cartoon characters.
Deb, do you want to take us through some of the exciting games in the pipeline for Quest?
On Uppy. Who's a good persistent state virtual object layered on an interactive pass-through environment? Oh, you are?
I said, let me put my game face on so I can beat you.
Mark, down for a VR foiling sesh?
Now this is more my style.
Where are you going?
Gotta pump it to jump it. I always really wanted a forest in my living room.
Did you?
Not really.
Wait, where's Mark?
I think he's in the middle of something.
That's what fitness will be like in the metaverse. To make sure that we don't lose too much money. Economy. The creator economy, commerce.
We love it, Mark. Do you have a catchy name for this new vision?
The metaverse.
All right, yeah, he's just gonna keep going. In fact, to show their commitment to the metaverse idea, Facebook's parent company completely rebranded themselves as Meta. The reception to this announcement was stellar. Every comment was positive, and everything Meta showed off looked super fun and not weird. Like how in the background of this meticulously designed set, there's just a bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce on his shelf.
Meats.
After one of the biggest companies in the world announced their commitment towards the metaverse, the word metaverse skyrockets in search volume. All of a sudden, this new buzzword metaverse was all people were talking about. Metaverse this, metaverse that. I saw Cheryl the other day metaversing in her backyard. What does that mean? Who cares? It's the future. Meta had paved a path into uncharted territory that no one had ever seen before. They were now the face of a new technology. Or that's what the general public thought. They say a good artist copies, but a great artist steals. Well, call Zuck Michelangelo, because despite this viral announcement being many people's first exposure to the word metaverse, Meta was nowhere near the first. A metaverse is just any virtual world or game that places an emphasis on creating a community and a lifestyle that can mimic your regular life. Imagine whatever you do in the real world, a metaverse does it too. And I do mean anything.
Dios mío.
Yeah. Typically, a metaverse heavily uses VR technology to further the immersion, which I happen to have bought the MetaQuest 3000 Dynamax just for this video, so don't worry. Second Life, VR chat, hell, even Roblox is considered a metaverse. The idea of a metaverse is not just a meta thing. They just happen to say it the loudest and had the most money at the right time. So people give them all the credit for it. Whether or not people like Cheryl here knew what a metaverse was before Zuck used it like a comma really didn't matter, because what Meta did was chum the waters of the tech world. And after their rebrand, the sharks smelled easy money. That's good. If the goal of a metaverse is to create a world and community that mimics everything we do in the real world, well, what do people do every day? And where do people live in the IRL in real world? Exactly. This is a match made in heaven. We charge people for property inside the metaverse. What soon followed this revelation was a tragedy in 3 steps. Brace yourself for the market explosion. From 2021 to 2022, it felt like every day there was a different company jockeying for a piece of some virtual real estate. Decentraland, Upland, The Sandbox, companies with millions of capital behind them were selling digital houses and parcels of land. Look at this luxurious mansion. It has it all. Pool, door, monkey car. It can be yours for the low price of $13 million. Sorry, I forgot you suffer from a chronic case of poor. Then why not buy this same mansion in the metaverse? Spot Selfie, the metaverse that lets you buy and sell plots of land in augmented reality. How about a metaverse that is the biggest sequel of all time? Earth 2. A metaverse that is a one-to-one digital replica of Earth. So we made a virtual reality to escape our problems on Earth to a virtual reality version of Earth. The metaverse has come full circle. Or should I say, globe. And on this globe, you can purchase virtual parcels of land that correspond to their real-world counterparts on Earth 1. So you hear that? Don't be mean to me, or I'll buy your house on Earth 2. Let's make a metaverse of the apes. The same people behind the Bored Ape NFTs made an entire Bored Ape metaverse called Otherside. Otherside's launch of virtual land sales made bundles of bananas in just a few days. Wait, what the hell is digital land ownership? Well, it works like this. Each parcel of metaverse real estate is wholly unique. Each is secured by a proof of ownership, a non-fungible token. Your virtual real estate NFT guarantees ownership and allows you to resell the property to another owner. It also automatically records all transactions for that property, eliminating the need for title work. There are some metaverses that allow you to purchase virtual property with real-world currency, but by and large, most property sales are done using crypto. This all sounds like a very secure market to invest in for those that are already familiar with it, but to the average person, none of this metaverse property stuff made any sense. And every company that tried to make it look like a cool, worthwhile investment did the exact opposite.
What actually is the metaverse? Well, if we think of the internet as something that we look at...
Well, here we are in what might be considered a representation of what the metaverse could be.
Human communication is about 5% speech, is about 95% everything else, right? Making eye contact, where all the gestures are coming into the right place.
Going to want a place that they can call home inside of that
digital universe, a place where they can, put trophies up on their walls or display NFTs or...
Not to mention the obvious red flags for us non-rich people.
Land in the metaverse looks a little bit like a Monopoly board. You want to try to acquire as many parcels of land on the Monopoly board. Our goal is to be the dominant and leading metaverse landlord.
So why should I jump on this train? Investments. It'll make you thousands in the future. Just buy. Maintaining an active metaverse can be quite expensive, by the way. Development can be quite pricey, and servers don't grow on trees. They grow on farms. These metaverses needed money, and more importantly, they needed to look like they were making money. Because no one wants to pay to live in a dead metaverse with no community. Around the same time the tech world scrambled to hop aboard the metaverse train, we started seeing some interestingly timed stories and figures thrown around. Did you know that buying property in the metaverse is actually the best thing ever since the Metaverse Sliced Bread PNG update? The average price of virtual land has tripled. Land ho! Metaverse property is emerging as a new viable asset class. You better get in now. People are paying millions of dollars for land in the metaverse.
It's clear why big tech companies are fighting over this.
Virtual private island? Yeah, in 2020 that would have cost you about 15 grand. Now, $300,000. Holy crap, I'm gonna go refinance my mortgage and buy an island right now. Now hold on a second, CNBC said. It's highly, highly risky. You should only invest capital that you're prepared to lose. Now where have I heard that advice before?
Never chase your losses, and only bet what you can afford to lose.
Ignore that because we have a record-shattering sale. A plot of virtual land just sold for $2.4 million in Decentraland. Scratch that. Only a week later, a plot of land sells for $4 million. The total sales of metaverse properties have now surpassed $500 million in 2022. No, over $1 billion have been spent on metaverse property by the end of 2022. The prices of virtual property rose by 700%. But we can expand further. PUBG now has a metaverse game to capitalize on the hype. Square Enix brings a beloved RPG series to the sandbox metaverse. Gamers were so happy. The president of Square Enix doubles down on this idea by pushing an NFT game, emphasizing that we're now in an era where gamers shouldn't play to have fun, but play to earn tokens. That's just a job. The sheer amount of money in virtual property meant that more sharks joined the feeding frenzy. Mark Cuban, part-time rich guy, full-time shark, what do you think?
And the worst part is people are buying real estate in these places. I mean, that's just the dumbest shit ever. The dumbest. Did I say it was dumb?
Oh, he's just kidding. You're still in, right, Mark?
I'm out.
Surprisingly, not many celebrities shared Mark's point of view. Jake Paul is selling property. Lil Baby is investing millions into the metaverse. Justin Bieber holds an entire concert in The Sims 3 metaverse, I mean. Justin was heavily influenced by the iconic Roblox DJ Paris Hilton, who not only held a similar concert in the metaverse, but gained serious clout in the NFT metaverse community for being the first person to not make Jimmy Fallon laugh.
That's my ape. Are we debuting? It's really cool.
Gary Vee is hyping up metaverse property with live Zuck reaction. Snoop Dogg has his own mansion in the sandbox. He's so cool that some dude spent $450K just to live next to his virtual mansion. Did you know he spent $450K? Did you know he spent $450K? Did you know he spent $450K? Did you know Snoop Dogg actually took it one step further than just property? Prepare to enter the Snoopverse. Exclusive private pool parties with Snoop himself in Not the Flesh. Make sure to buy your NFT ticket. Snoopverse is so 15 seconds ago. Now us young people aged 16 to 28 are all about the Steve Aokiverse, where you can buy Aokiverse passports. Cake be Steve. The Aokiverse is so 14 seconds ago. Now it's all about Baliland, the metaverse with premium concerts and land spearheaded by none other than Dollar Mahindi. Although Dollar Mahindi has been perfecting his metaverse avatar for years now, so this might slap. So besides money, why would you buy a metaverse house? Well, Forbes claims it's to have a place called home where you can show off all your possessions. Home sweet home. But look at all this land you don't have a house on. Look at it, just existing there, wasting virtual space by not selling me something.
It feels like somebody
wants to sell me something!
Shockingly, advertisers saw an opportunity in virtual land for some serious profits. Thank you, brand. I love brand. I love the Nike Metaverse store. I love the Metaverse Gucci store. I love Meta Light Beer. I love JP Morgan putting a bank into Decentraland so they Metaverse deny my Metaverse loan for my Metaverse mansion. I love entire Metaverses dedicated solely to brands, like the Absolute Vodka World, or the Wendy's verse. Really come to terms with the fact that we created an entire fictional world to sell fictional baconators. Try explaining that to a Victorian-era child. Forget it, we're making it out the virtual streets with the Metaverse Mall. And brands that all of us love so much, don't worry about how a giant virtual billboard that says Big Mac in Times New Roman bold will convert to actual sales. Just pay these companies thousands to advertise. Metaverse property is booming. Billions of dollars, remember? Snoop Dogg house, remember that? Memes aside, people were making actual money from flipping virtual plots of land. Especially those people that had bought land for pennies way back when these metaverses first started. They were now sitting on a gold mine. Or was it pyrite? This market had some grave problems that, despite all the hype and numbers, would be its downfall. Real-life land has value because of the location and that it's finite. The land my real-world house sits on, modest I know, cannot be duplicated. This scarcity creates value. In the metaverse, all this land is just code. It can be replicated infinitely. Scarcity is scarce here. It's the same economic principle why traditional NFTs didn't hold much value in the long run. If your billion-dollar priceless item can be seamlessly duplicated, and the duplicate serves the exact same purpose and looks identical in every way, then why spend money in the first place? Sure, you may technically own it on the blockchain, but does that really change the fact it's a picture of a pigeon? You've basically bought one of those star certificates, but for dudes who repost alpha male lion edits. But let's say there's a metaverse where there is one build and that's it. No other parcels of land will ever be added, and is technically scarce. The other side metaverse did this, for example, by making the amount of parcels that could be sold a set number. Well, that brings up a giant ethical issue of strangleholding supply to inflate profits and create artificial scarcity.
Metaverse landlord.
The product you are selling has infinite supply. The only reason to restrict supply is profit. So the value of virtual land is not really its scarcity, but more so the attention it brings. The 80,000 strong default Cheesecake factory and I have decided that coordinates 1503.5990 by 38502.4 will be the spot where we host our daily book club. Link in bio, tomorrow's Little Women. Well, our plot of land is far more valuable now since 80,000 people visit it every day. More foot traffic is more eyes on your product. And cue Big Mac billboard. What attention truly needs to be maintained, though, is an active community. There was less thought put into how a virtual community could succeed long term, and more concern about short-term profit. Like, if they expected for us to pay for this like it was actual property, did they also account for everything that comes with owning property? Am I going to have property line disputes with my digital neighbor? Metaverse squatters stealing abandoned houses? Metaverse ring doorbell moments? Metaverse property taxes? A metaverse HOA? Metaverse landlords? Oh wait, God, no. Trying to find a meaningful answer to those questions requires too much effort for these companies. So, Snoop Dogg house. You're laughing. I'm trying to question the legitimacy of making a metaverse HOA, and you're laughing. Well, think about it this way. In the current state of the metaverse, there is no centralized government or authority. It's all decentralized. This land is the unwild west, and round these parts they don't call the cyber police. You could buy a high-value plot of land, and oh no, there's a Snoopverse billboard in your front lawn. Sorry, bucko, only way to get that money back is to track down the original seller, or pass it off to the next sucker. Also, the further you follow the trail of the market boom, the more sketchy this whole thing becomes. Evidently, some of the same media outlets hyping up the market boom happen to have some investments of their own. Forbes published multiple articles gassing up the metaverse land market, then bought significant plots of land themselves. The BBC did the exact same thing. You look at studies done on the viability of metaverse property as an investment, and the entire thing was funded by the very company they were researching. To be fair, some of them did disclose their investments, or claim that this didn't impact their results. But I don't think it's crazy to say that at the very least this is a huge conflict of interest to directly contribute to a narrative that would profit you in the future. The only saving grace people had from completely writing off the metaverse as a waste of time was the sheer amount of money thrown at it, and some VR foiling sessions. All of that would change though on August 16th, 2022, when Zuck had an important update to share with the world. We're launching Horizon Worlds in France and Spain today. Looking forward to seeing people explore and build immersive worlds, and to bringing this to more countries soon. It didn't matter if this was just a Facebook mistake. It didn't matter if every other metaverse looked different than Zuck 1.0. It didn't matter how much they tried to fix it, and it didn't matter how loud metaverse defenders shouted. After Facebook had thrown millions of dollars into the metaverse, this is what they were showing off. It looks so astonishingly stupid that this was all anyone could ever associate with the metaverse. Just search the word metaverse and you'll see his face everywhere. A visual shorthand for all the metaverse's sins. And the final nail in the coffin. No, you're all wrong. The virtual land market is booming. The prices are booming. Metaverse Justin Bieber, Snoop Dogg house. The time to buy a virtual house is now. Like every boom and every gold rush, there's always a bust. We live in a time where you can escape to whatever virtual reality you want. And yet, no matter how virtual we get, reality always comes crashing down. The decline began with the cryptocurrency market crashing in early 2022. Kind of a big deal for metaverse property considering that crypto is the main way people bought it, but let's make it worse. The VR headsets that Meta had made, an historically budget-friendly option for most people to access VR content, increased in price by $100. Crumbling cryptos and price gouging goggles is part of it, but it's not the full picture. The one question I kept asking myself time and time again is why did people buy virtual property in the first place? Maybe it's to be part of a community or have a permanent presence in a fun new world. Except if there's no community to be part of, what reason is there other than the money? This is what corrupted the market. Everyone propping up the metaverse pitched it as an investment. Invest, stay ahead of the curve, get in on the gold rush. Yeah, there's like a pool you can swim in, but buy it now so you can cash out. People that wanted to make a real community and actually enjoy the game they bought land for, they were the minority. The majority was trying to sell their property as quickly as possible to the next sucker, long before anyone could realize that buying land in a dead video game is a waste of money. Everyone pitched an infinite amount of reasons you should join the craze, but no one gave us a reason to actually stick around. It was like one giant billion-dollar game of hot potato, with everyone screaming how hot this potato is, and the second you buy into the hype and grab the potato for yourself, it's ice cold. So the market reflected that. Since the end of 2022, prices for virtual property are a shell of their former selves. Across the entire metaverse, average prices in trading volume dropped by 72%. Decentraland's property price and trade volume is down 89% since the peak, and its value has tanked over time. Other side, the monkey metaverse, tanked since 2022. The sandbox.
Holy shit, tank!
In the sandbox specifically, plots of land that previously sold for 15 grand were going for 1,500 in 2024, an average price decrease of almost 90%. Take a sale on OpenSea, and you'll see less and less trades happening for less and less money. What's really interesting is a lot of the trades happening in some metaverses are happening between the same handful of people. The same plots of land are just passed around and around in the same circles. Almost like there's a virtual land oligarchy, but that's ridiculous. Or is it? In Decentraland, the small community that still remains is being strong-armed by a virtual land oligarchy, I'm dead serious by the way, that's hoarding whatever wealth is left and all the voting power. Thank you, Snoop Dogg house. Now that's not to say that the virtual real estate market is completely dead. There are still purchases being made. Earth 2 is still trading to raise funds for their hype sequel, Mars. It's just that most of these houses and plots are selling for fractions of what they once were, and many people are now left holding that ice-cold potato that no one wants to buy. So these parcels and houses are just sitting there, right now, gathering digital dust, waiting for some young, idealistic Big Mac billboard to swoop in and pay their rent. Dig deep enough and you'll still find some random startups trying to capitalize on the market, but metaverse hype has long since died down. The bubble popped years ago, And now if you ask people about the metaverse, they'll just ask about Zuck.io. The way that companies like Meta, The Sandbox, or Decentraland approached the metaverse was never going to work. They didn't want to build a world where you could do anything or be anyone. They only wanted a world where all you could be was their customer. I think famous 21st century philosopher Lord Beef described this whole debacle best. In Fortnite, I could be Goku with a shotgun. A metaverse is actually a pretty fun idea, which is why my hope is that this video ages horribly. The idea of spending millions to own a digital home will be back, and in greater numbers. I'm confident that one day in the near future where everyone lives in a metaverse, and DoorDash's lab-grown Big Macs for their NFT families as a giant Pickle Rick avatar, that this market could thrive, and that this video will be obliterated by time. Because if the points made in this video age like milk, that means we found a way to make the metaverse work for everyone. We created a video game-like world that anyone can enjoy. A world free from excessive advertising. A world where the possibilities are infinite for all, not just those who can buy in. Steven, I could write the sequel right now, just give me 2 days and some Adderall. To do that would require extensive planning and consideration from the creators. Exactly how these big tech companies don't operate. When it comes to a technology gold rush, they just open Pandora's box and then charge us a subscription fee to close it. At least until their competitor opens a bigger box. The ultimate irony of the metaverse housing crisis is that everyone tried to be the first ones in the gold rush, completely unaware that someone had already depleted the mine years ago. I find it pretty fitting that Facebook changed their name to Meta, because the entire metaverse land rush of the 2020s was just one giant self-referential joke, or more accurately, an inside joke, seeing as most of these investors were not hard-working middle-class people. They were the rich, the massive corporations, the celebrities, another glimmer of hope that you too can strike gold, get a taste of the good life, and hang with the big dogs. The metaverse land rush was a stark reminder that this is all one big party, and the only way we can ever watch them is from the outside.
Meaningful. I think that you'd be hard pressed to find any other organization that cares as much about this and is putting as much energy into
metaverse gaming world. Strategically puts me in great position.
The metaverse is a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity.
The Aokiverse launched.
There's a lot of metaverses out there.
Akin to a lot of Nike's other shoe communities.
I invented Earth 2 as an escape, an alternate reality, a place that is accessible for free by everyone.
Will NFTs make you even wealthier?
I'm not doing it for that reason. I really just love the art and I love the community and I love being a voice for everyone.
If you're watching this in the future and we're all metaverse techno surfs for Amazon, it was a joke. I love brand. Please don't delete my NFT family.